Happy New Year, Frugalistas and Dumpsterinos. We are just going to have a little chat today because I have a lot of plans for the coming year, for the near future. Lots of things are changing, and I wanted to share it with you. I do not really make New Year's resolutions, so these are not resolutions per se, because I don't keep New Year's resolutions, like usually not even beyond the first day. Like, oh, I'm going to exercise every day, then I don't do that. Oh, I'm going to eat better, whatever, you know, like, Pasha, cat, cat's bumping up against the tripod. How about we shut the bathroom door while we're at it? Stop nudging that. So anyway, lots of plans and changes. There is one time in... We're just chatting here. That was cat hair. This is just a chit chat kind of vid. We might go into the realm of TMI. So I don't want to see that in the comments. Amy, that was TMI. Like, who cares about your situation with your diapers? Well, I'm telling you it's going to be TMI, so stop watching. If you don't want to hear about my diapers, don't watch. You know what I'm saying? What is the deal with the diapers? Well, I'm just going to tell you this. And you shouldn't make fun of people who have to wear diapers, first of all, so don't make fun of me. I don't wear adult diapers all the time. And luckily I've never had to buy any. I have some from various weird sources. But here's the thing. I've gone through like 2 full packs of adult diapers. Like I wore the last one yesterday. I'm back in normal Vardigs today. Normal mommy panties. Ugh, I hate the word panties. Underpants. Undies, okay, knickers, panties, ugh. Anyway, why? Because, you know, I've been sick and I've had this cough and I don't have great bladder control post having twins at age 47 anyway. The doctor said it's not normal to not have bladder control when you're an older middle-aged woman, but it's very common. Like, it's not just medically to be expected and accepted, but it's very common. And I don't have great bladder control and whatever. So sometimes I pee myself, such is life. And I don't really care. I'm okay with it. I don't really give a shit. Because the doctor's like, oh yeah, we can fix this. We can do that. Like your uterus shifted and it's laying on top of your bladder and whatever. Like who cares? Unless I just have piss like constantly streaming out of my body, I'm just like not worried about it. The issue is, because like normally I can get to a bathroom. The issue was when I had this coughing all the time. You know what I'm talking about. Coughing, sneezing, laughing. If you have a full bladder and then all of a sudden you cough, thusly, you know, your torso muscles are contracting. Your diaphragm is contracting. So good luck making it to the toilet in time in the middle of a coughing fit. So I was like, forget it. I'm just going to put on the adult diapers and not pee my clothes. But anyway, today's the first day out of the adult diapers in like 2.5, 3 weeks. So, hey, Happy New Year. That's one thing they don't tell you in high school health class. Oh yeah, periods and fallopian tubes and birth control and this, that, and the other, but they do not tell you. You're going to be pissing yourself all the time, easily before you hit 60. So the point is, lots of changes coming, lots of things I want to do differently, and I just thought we could chat about that, and you can tell me what you think and what you want to do differently, and if you're making resolutions. Oh, I was going to tell you the one time I did make New Year's resolutions and kept them was when I was about like 23. And I resolved that I would go to the gynecologist at some point that year because I had never been before and I knew I had to go, and I did do that. And I would try tofu, which I did at some point during that year and hated because I think it's disgusting and the texture is just, no tofu. I look at things sort of loosely according to systems theory. Like everything is a system. Things function as a system. And you need to understand your system. You need to have a flexible system. You need to update your system because the system you had running in your home when your kids are toddlers is not the same system that's going to work when your kids are 10 years old. You know what I'm saying? Systems change. The family functions as a system. and whatever. So systems. So, you know, some of our systems need to change and adjust. And there's just some things that I feel we can do better. And I want to do better. So, one thing is, I have decided, and this isn't just like as of today, New Year's Day, like this is several weeks ago. Like when I think of something, I start it. I don't just like wait for New Year's Day. But I think that New Year's obviously lends itself to starting new plans because I just think because the end of the year with the holidays and all the hubbub and like the mess in the house and the people coming and going and the food and the cooking and just all the upheaval, it's just hard to implement a new system in the midst of all that. So one thing, a few weeks ago, I decided I'm not going to watch all these prepping videos anymore. And if you're not familiar with prepping videos, it's like doomsday prepping, right? You're preparing for whatever you're preparing for, like the end of times, alien invasion, zombie apocalypse, economic breakdown, like a Mad Max kind of scenario, world wars, another pandemic, climate change, just localized natural disasters like hurricanes, tornadoes, just, you know, all that stuff that people prepare for, right? And people take it to the extreme because they really envision like the Mad Max zombie scenario, which is super fun to think about. But the thing is, we all need to realize, like what we think about becomes who we are. And what I watch obsessively on YouTube is what I think about, which becomes who I am. And one of the reasons I just decided I'm not going to watch prepping videos so much anymore, not like I'm not going to totally cut it out, because there are a couple of channels I like that I think have good information, and there are a couple I watch because I think they're funny, even though they're not like trying to be funny, but they're so stupid that they're funny to me. I know that kind of sounds mean, but whatever. The prepping shows are getting very boring to me and repetitive. And I feel like I've gotten out of them everything that I'm going to get out of them, which doesn't mean I am prepped for all scenarios. It does not mean anything. It doesn't mean I'm like an expert in prepping and they have nothing to teach me. Like there's still so much I don't know, but I've kind of reached the limit of what I can do to prep, how I can prep given my like financial constraints. So I'm still going to prep. I still believe in, oh my gosh. I'm still going to stockpile food. I'm still going to can food. I'm still going to do the vegetable garden. I still want to increase my, not my independence, but yes, my independence. Like, you know, like not being dependent on all the other systems in society that we rely on, that when they fall apart, like the economy or the supply chain or trains or nurses going on strike or whatever, when things break down, you want to be as protected from that as possible. So I want to be as like survivalisty, independent, homesteady as possible. So I still would do all that. And, you know, when we find canned goods in the dumpster, I still might say like, oh, yay, like canned soup, perfect for the prepper pantry. And I put that stuff away. But I'm not gonna, I can't go the next step. Like I don't have the money to dig a bunker in the backyard. I don't have the money for a solar generator or solar panels, like all the other steps. Like I can't do that anyway. So there's sort of like no point in me continually watching videos about, you know, what's the best solar generator, because I can't afford one. I'm not gonna have a solar generator. And having been sick with the flu before Christmas really made me realize like I am like totally the weak link in the chain. So is Frugal Daddy. Like we are the weak links. Like we're old. Like if somebody was chasing us and we had to run, it would totally be like I'd be gotten first. Like everybody else run, save yourselves, run from the zombies. But I'm going down. Like I don't run fast. I'm like an old lady. So that brings me to wanting to focus on my health. And again, I've been thinking about this a while ago, but having had the flu or whatever that demon possession disease was I had, like worse than any flu I've ever had, like just the worst sickness ever, and it just drags on forever. And I know you all know, because if you're lucky enough not to have had it, you probably know people who have, but like everybody's had it. Like, it's everywhere. It's everywhere, and it's horrible. So I'm going back to wearing masks outside whenever I go anywhere. I mean, not outside in the air. Like, I'm not going to wear a mask in the dumpster. We never did. That's sort of stupid. But when I go into Walmart or a store, like I always, like, I really didn't stop wearing a mask, but a little bit I did. Like, once in a while, I'd be lazy about it, or if I didn't have one with me, I'd be like, oh, whatever, I'll go into Walmart anyway. But then look what happened. I caught this disease. So I'm going to be wearing masks all the time, and I'm going to get a booster for COVID, and I'll start to get the flu shot. I mean, probably not this year, but I'll start to get the flu shot because I never really did before, and I wouldn't mind getting like a pneumonia vaccine. I think they have that. And I don't know whether I should get the shingles vaccine because I've had shingles. I had it 2 or 3 years ago. So do I need to get the shingles vaccine, or having had it, like, does that build up immunity against shingles? Because it wasn't fun to have. I don't really want to get it again. It's not the worst thing that's ever happened to me, but it wasn't a fun thing either. Cats on the kitchen table and counter is awfully unhygienic. So a lot of my systems, I think, in the home are a little maybe weird and unusual because, you know, we do have so many animals, and that's just part of what our household is. And I'm not going to get rid of them. And I have way too many cats. And people ask how many cats. And I always say 2. We have 2 cats, as in too many. I want to focus more on my health. And I have been, like, I was kind of sickly as a child, and I was also fat growing up. So those 2 things, not the healthiest. I've often been sort of amazed and impressed with how healthy I have been as an adult because I very rarely get sick. The kids get sick, Frugal Daddy gets sick every year, and I don't because I can't, because I have to take care of them. This year I was really surprised that this disease got me. And so I really, because I want to live till like I'm 110. So I really need to focus on being healthy. So I want to focus on my lung health. I want to figure out what to do to keep my lungs as healthy as possible because I did not enjoy all the coughing and the flu and the feeling not healthy in the lungs. I don't really know what you do for lung health other than probably just get regular exercise. But if you guys know anything specific, if you just happen to be lung experts or you, whatever, if you're a pulmonologist, let me know if there's anything specific. Is there anything specific nutritionally that's good for lungs? I mean, I'm not a smoker, but, you know, that's no guarantee of anything. So health. And as part of the health, I want to, well, one, I want to get back to walking regularly. And what really throws me off from taking the long daily walks is when it gets cold outside. Luckily today it is not very cold outside for January 1st. So I'm going to go on a long walk today. And I'm really also going to try to do yoga more regularly. And by more regularly, I mean like more than the 5 times I probably did it in all of 2022. Like if I can't go out to walk because I'm wimping out because of the weather, I need to do yoga. And I've got some hand weights I lift sometimes because I want to build up muscle strength a little bit, you know, because I still need to be able to climb in and out of those dumpsters till I'm like 110. So you're not going to be watching all these prepping shows, Miss Amy. So what are you going to do? I have been watching a ton of home decorating shows, you know, interior design, which I've always loved. And sometimes I watch them, sometimes I don't. But I love these shows because I'm very visually oriented and I want a nice home. And I want it to look nice to me and to my kids. We don't entertain. We don't have people over. I don't need to impress people with what my home looks like. But I just want it to look nice to me, and a lot of times it doesn't. So that is going to be a big focus for me now. And watching the interior design shows is very inspiring to me because you see these beautiful homes and then you think, oh, I got to go clean up that room because it looks like shit and I want it to look like this beautiful home. And the thing is, I do want to do a video very soon of our living room redo. Like we're going to redo the living room. But the thing is basically on a very low budget. And so it might not look that different because I have to work with what I have. But I think that in work, I mean, you can make your space look better working with what you have. if you start to understand some of the design principles of how to, create a seating area for conversation and how to arrange things on the wall. Like, I can't go out and buy a new sofa, unfortunately, because we kind of hate our sofa. I mean, we did get it free from FreeCycle, thank goodness. I think the last 3 sofas we've had, we got free from FreeCycle. And it's a good sofa. I mean, when this was bought new by whoever bought it new 15 years ago, this was like a $3,000 sofa from Crate and Barrel. Something we could never in a million years spend money like that on a sofa. But the thing of it is, and it has its good points and its bad points. I'm not shaming the sofa. It's just so huge for the room that it's in. It's very comfy. Like, we can all fit on it and watch TV together, but it's just too big. And it takes up the whole, like, our living room is kind of long, like a rectangle long, and we have it going across the narrower wall, and it almost goes wall to wall. There's just space for 2 little end tables on either side, and it just is so crowded. And, so I was trying to think, like, in this living room, like, what do we want our focal point to be? What's our focal wall? And what's the function of this room? And basically, our living room is just like, we're just staring at the TV all the time. And I don't like that. Big TV, but he insists on having this big TV. I don't want the whole focus of the room to be staring at this big TV, even though we watch a lot of TV. I hate that. And he just, That's another thing. We find a lot of stuff in the dumpsters, right? And in other people's trash. And I do not want to keep as much of it as Frugal Daddy does. Like, I feel like just because you find it and rescue it, it doesn't mean you have to have it in your home. Like, you don't owe anything to the garbage. You don't have to keep it all. And that's why I like to donate, and I have the Vietnam vets come and pick stuff up, and, we'll clean the stuff up and, like, move it on to somebody else who can use it, before our cats destroy it anyway. Like, we're pretty hard on furniture in this house with the dogs and the cats and the kids. And, whatever. You just don't need to keep everything you find. And it's kind of like he tries to incorporate everything, and it just looks like crap. The first step when you're, like, redecorating and trying to redo everything, obviously, is to clean. So I'm trying to, and I clean every day. I'm always cleaning this freaking house, and it never looks like it. But what I'm trying a different approach to cleaning now. So, like, instead of, just trying to do a little bit all over the place all the time, I try to focus on one room and just spend a couple hours in that room and just try to clean it as much as I can and just focus on that room. And other stuff, other rooms maybe don't get focused on, but I mean, there's always the regular daily and weekly cleaning of, yes, I'm still doing laundry, and yes, I'm still doing dishes, and yes, I'm still cleaning the kitchen floor, and yes, I'm still wiping the counters, and yes, we're still vacuuming the rug and whatever. But I'm trying to, like, really focus on, like, one room at a time and get it looking decent, and then maintain it, and then do another room. So with the living room, I'll show you how we're going to redo it. Basically, what I want to do is have the focal wall be where the fireplace is. So turn the sofa. So the sofa is long, and it's going to go the long way in the rectangular room, which I feel like is going to make the room feel longer and skinnier. But that's just the way it's going to have to be. The sofa's going to, like, be floating in the middle of the room now. Because I just... And the one really interesting... Well, there are 2 interesting architectural details in that room. One is the huge opening to the dining room where we have the pocket doors that we pretty much just keep, like, open all the time. The other thing is the window to the front yard, because it has, like, this arched nook thing. And it's just totally blocked by having the sofa there, and I just want to see if we can kind of make that arched dealio just kind of, like, speak for itself. Now, one problem we do have in this house, home decor wise, is radiators, like radiators, right? So that does make it harder to decorate, because they take up, like, prime real estate in every room, and it's just a pain in the neck. And the radiator in the living room is, like, under that window. But the previous owner of this house, see, we live with a lot of the decisions the previous owner made. And I feel like a lot of times we've been hesitant to change anything. But it's like our freaking house now. We can change what we want. Like, he's not even alive anymore. He passed away. Like, we don't need to keep the house the way he had it. And okay, so anyway, he had all the radiators painted gold. And okay, that's fine. But what we want to do now is paint all the radiators the same color as the wall behind it, just so they kind of like blend in a little bit better. I mean, we don't need them to stand out as a big old gold radiator, if you know what I mean. But we need to match the paint color and get like special heat resistant paint. Because I'm just ready to like slap paint on there, but I'm like, no, because it'll bubble and peel off and everything, because the radiators actually do get warm. They don't get super hot. But I think that if we paint that radiator that's under the front window the same yellow color as the walls, it'll just, it just won't be so prominent. And what I want to do is, I bought these 2 planters to put on either side. And I got these, I can look at them, I left them out in the yard. These snake plants I got from Home Depot to kind of bring, because I like to have a lot of plants, right? And I'm hoping the cats won't destroy them, as they so often do. But you have to have something alive in the house besides your cats, and plants. So you want the plants, and I want the softness that the plants will add, with their organic plantiness, to this very like boxy window and then this arched deal over. And I thought about putting curtains up just to have the fabric to kind of soften it, to have like shears hanging down on the sides. But then I just thought, no, that'll look like shit. That's not going to look good. I'm not going to do that. Stop hitting the tripod. So that video is going to come up soon once we actually do it. And the idea being, well, we can't afford to go out and get a new sofa. Like, we're, cleaning and rearranging furniture and rearranging stuff on walls. Like, that might be the most one can accomplish in trying to redecorate one's home. But hopefully it'll make the space better and more pleasing to the eye, and so forth and so forth. Also, where we have the TV positioned, we chose that spot in that corner because that's where the previous owner had all the cable connections. And we don't even use the cable connections. Like, we don't have cable, and we use like Roku or something like that. And it has like a direct thingy from the router. I don't know. Oh, this cat. Frugal Daddy's in charge of that stuff. But we don't need to keep the TV there. And so I want to move it so that it's next to the fireplace. I don't like a TV mounted on the wall. I know a lot of people have that. And it is a nice space saver, because having your TV sit on a table like the old-fashioned way, maybe some people don't like. But I don't want it on the wall. I just don't want it on the wall. I don't like that. And I don't want it above the fireplace. So, but I want it like next to the fireplace. So we'll have our seating area kind of more focused around the fireplace, which it would be better if that fireplace worked. It doesn't. The previous owner like blocked it off. But just the mantle, I already redecorated the mantle. That's the one thing I've done. The room is an absolute mess from Christmas. But anyway, so I'm going to do all that. I'm going to try to do like one room at a time, like really clean it, organize it. We're going to put one of the new rugs down that Frugal Daddy pulled out of the Habitat for Humanity dumpster. If we ever save up for a new sofa, or we can get a new sofa, great. Home decorating videos, I kind of want to incorporate a little bit so you can, I don't know, whatever. So you can see what we're doing, and then you can say, oh, that looks so much better that you arranged those framed things on the wall like as a gallery wall, or no, that doesn't look right. Because we also have really, really high ceilings, so that's like a little bit of a challenge, because this is a really old house. And it's like the ceilings are really, really high. So then you have these big wall expanses. And I know you need to leave some places empty because you have to have negative space. I actually like to have things like really, really full. I like to have less clutter like on the ground and have more stuff up on the walls, because I like to look at a lot of things, and I like a lot of color, which is part of why I hate my beige sofa, because I like things to be colorful. I am making throw pillow covers that are removable and washable and changeable, so that I can have like bursts of color on the sofa. I made a bunch before Christmas, so we had lots of nice Christmassy pillows. And the fabric, for all of them, I was using old clothes, basically. Like, I had this red velvet dress that the girls wore when they were younger, but doesn't fit anymore. And I cut that up, so I made this like red velvet pillow. And then I had some denim, so I made like a denim pillow. But then I had this plaid nightgown that Neve wore when, oh my gosh, she wore it for years. It was just like a classic Neve nightgown. I think it's in the video from when she's super little and telling Dwayne he smells bad like a skunk. I should put a link to that below because that's funny. It's so cute. Anyway, I took the plaid nightgown and I cut that up and I made a plaid pillow cover, but then on the denim pillow, I also made like a plaid Christmas tree shape together. And then I had this other pillow to have different colors, you know, going into different seasons. And I'm basically going to be using fabric I've already got, or like for all the rag rugs I've been making, I've used old shirts that we had, like, you know, men's like button-down shirts, and just like different, you know, maybe old cotton dresses the girls had when they were little. And when I didn't have something, or I didn't have the right color or whatever, I'd go to the thrift store in town, because our thrift store in town on Sundays, the men's shirts are only $1. So I would go and buy a few men's shirts and cut them up to make my rag rugs, right? And so for that, of course, you're looking at color, not so much a pattern, because you don't really see the pattern when you make it into a rag rug. And obviously you want to get the biggest shirt possible. I mean, if all the men's shirts cost $1, why not get like the one that's a 2XL, because then you get more fabric to work with. So anyway, if I need fabric for these pillows, I can like go get some shirts or whatever. But I have a lot of other of the kids' older clothing that I've saved kind of for this purpose. I mean, at one point I thought, oh, I'll learn to quilt and I'll make quilts with their clothes from when they were little. And so like for their kids, they'll have these quilts and it'll be so cute. 'Cause some of the clothes were so cute. A lot of their clothes I donated. But there were just certain things that it was just like, oh, I loved when she wore that little outfit. That was so cute. That was so her. And I just didn't want to get rid of it because it had memories. But I don't really think I'm going to get into quilting, to be honest. Like that's not one of the changes that's happening this year. Like I'm not into cleaning up the house and kind of redecorating and making things look. It doesn't even have to look great. I don't need like a celebrity home. I don't need a gorgeous home. I just want a freaking normal looking home that meets like minimum standards of hygiene and, you know, basic attractiveness. Like I like things with lots of color. I like having the kids' artwork up on the walls. The kids put up these like twinkle lights for Christmas when I couldn't decorate because I was sick in bed. Like, fine, leave them. I don't care. Leave the lights there forever. Like, I don't care. Like, it's fine. It's fine. Like, it's lived in. It's a home. It's not here to impress anybody. Like, this is a working home, and we have animals, and we may have litter boxes in strange places that you're like, why do you want a litter box in that room? Well, probably because they're choosing to pee and poo in that spot on their own. So I just figured, all right, like, I don't even know which one of you is doing it. I don't know who to address this with. So I'm going to put a litter box there and just have to scoop it like 10 times a day. Because of course you don't want to sit like in your den with like cat shit next to you, which he'll do. The change I want to see in my own home, because there's no other way. I have to go back to pretending like I'm a single mother, and I just have to do it myself and have no expectations of him. And then I won't be so freaking angry and disappointed all cleaning videos. Also inspiring because you watch someone clean and their bathroom looks fantastic and you're like, I gotta go clean my bathroom counter right now. It's hard to even make it through a whole video without wanting to stop. Or you flip the other way and watch the hoarder videos and then you're like, oh shit, I don't want my house to look like that. Like I need to go put some stuff away somewhere. So we're gonna be working a lot on the house. I'm not sure he knows it, but we are. I have mentioned it a few times to him. I want him to go get, gonna be doing the dumpster diving, of course, like that's our thing. That's what most of you like to watch, and that's what we do. Luckily, I have a few new friends who are into having free dumpster food, so that's good. Because we do share and we do donate, and I love having other people to like give stuff to, knowing that they are okay with it being from the dumpster, and they get that you have to like smell things and check things, and they appreciate not having to pay for food because, inflation and all that. I don't know. What are your guys' predictions for this coming year? I actually feel really optimistic about 2023, which is so not like me because I'm really kind of like pessimistic kind of person. Like if I have a headache, I have a brain tumor. Like I always jump to like the absolute worst case scenario, always. And I'm not one who's just like, I'm like a problem solver. Like things will get me down, but I don't stay down for long because I'm like, okay, well, what are we going to do to solve this problem? But I'm usually pretty pessimistic. And like if people are saying, oh, it's guaranteed we're going to have a recession, which by the way, I think we're already in a recession. Like I think we were in a recession all 2022, but whatever. They say, okay, we're definitely going to have a recession. In my mind, I'm like, oh, it's going to be like the Great Depression again. Like I jump to that. But I just feel like 2023 is going to get better. And I don't know if that's like a defense mechanism because the thought of it actually getting worse is so untenable. It's just inconceivable because 2021, like we thought 2020 was bad. 2021 and 2022 just got worse and worse for me. Like I can't, 2023 cannot be worse because it'll put me 6 feet under. Even though I don't want to be buried, I just want to be like cremated and then sprinkled in the river or like maybe floated away on a barge or something. But you know what I'm saying? Like it can't get worse. I can't handle it getting worse. They say, God, feel optimistic about 2023. I just feel like things aren't going to get worse. I feel like things have bottomed out. They've gotten as bad as they're going to get, and things are just, it may take a long time, but things are going to get better. And I was telling my older daughter, I said, like, don't expect the good times to last, but don't expect the bad times to last either. Like, if things are going well for you, you're like making a lot of money at your job, you're really successful, everything's great, don't think it's going to be like that forever. Like, you still need to save money like you're going to be unemployed someday. Do you know what I mean? Like you still need to prepare for the future because the good times don't last. Your good luck doesn't last forever. And same with the bad times when it's just, everything's just shitty and it's one thing after another. It won't last forever. Things go in cycles. The economy goes in cycles. Everything. Your health goes in cycles. So when it's bad, take heart because it's going to get better. And when it's good, enjoy it, but appreciate, don't get like complacent. Appreciate the fact that things can tank and you just never know when it's going to happen or what's going to happen. And I think that when times are good and then they get bad fast. Like it tanks quickly. And when things are kind of building back up and getting better, it just takes much longer to recover. Don't you think? I think so. That's my opinion. Also, I have this other goal. It's a system thing of like how I arrange my day. And I've been trying to do this. I tried to do this all last year, but anyway, someone else needs to be on board with it. But I get up very early and I want to get my work done in the day before 3 o'clock when the kids come home from school. Meaning, if we're going to dumpster dive and I'm going to work on editing a video and I'm also going to do some cleaning and I'm going to do whatever else it is I'm going to do during the day, like my YouTube work plus my homework, my housework, I want it done by 3 so that when the kids are done from school, I am there to help them with their homework and to supervise and to make sure they're doing their homework and not just screwing around and make sure they do their reading because they try not to read as much as I want them to read and whatever. I want to be available. I want to be there. I want to be Susie Homemaker, like cooking dinner and they can help me make dinner and I'm just available to them. I mean, what is the point of my having quit my stable, safe, secure state job with benefits? I'm not going to have that time with the kids. And Frugal Daddy knows this. He knows because when he goes off to dumpster dive by himself, I always ask him, please go early, please go early, go early, go early, go early. You know, like go and do it and be done, be back by noon so I can film it and edit it. And because I don't want it to encroach on my time with the kids. And invariably, he'll go dumpster diving at like 2:30. So then the kids are home and then he comes back and then I have to like unload the car and sort the food and film the food and put the food away. And it takes all my time away from the kids. And I don't know if it's just that he's not like an early morning person or if it's just this like passive aggressive thing he's doing just to like fuck with me because it drives me crazy. So I just am not going to let my work stuff, it's just not going to go past 3. If I don't get it done, it's just not going to get done. Like, I'm sorry. It's just, I have to have this time with these kids because they're getting into their tween years and, it's going to be too late soon. Like, to mold them and shape them and make sure they're decent people with like solid values and a good moral grounding, which I feel like is lost very much from our society these days. So what are you guys thinking? What are you going to change in the coming year? What do you think is going to be going on in 2023? Are things going to get worse in society, in the world, with the weather, with the crops, with the war, with the everything, like, are things going to get better, or are things, like, are we still on a downward, like we have not hit rock bottom yet? What do you guys think? And what kind of changes are you planning to make in your own lives? All right, so the next video coming up is a Habitat for Humanity dumpster dive. He found some cool stuff. He loves that place now. Like, I can't hold him. The other day, he went out at like 7 at night because the store closes at 6. And I'm like, where are you going? And he goes, oh, I'm going to go dumpster diving. He never goes at night anymore. But he's so into this Habitat place now. He wants to go like every day. It's kind of a long drive, so it's kind of going to cost some money and gas. But hey, he's into it, so whatever. There might be a lot of those kind of videos coming up. And it's good because they throw out some decent stuff that even if we don't want to use it, it could be donated to other people. Like, there's nothing wrong with it, except this sofa they threw away the other day that they just slashed up. Like, why? Why did you have to do that? What, Jesus? Like, you don't want to sell it, clearly, in your incredibly disorganized, messy, dirty store. What do you care if someone takes it? Like, why do you have to slash the furniture? I don't know. Can you guys tell, like, I don't have enough people to talk to during the day? Like, when we have these little chats, I could go on forever. I really could. Because it's like we're just hanging out. We're just hanging out. Because I don't have, like, you know what I think we've really lost in America is like this sense of community. Like, I was telling Lisa sharing life stories with you. I was telling her the other day, because she was talking about the same kind of thing. Like, what is wrong with America now? Like, the way people act and whatever. And I was saying, you know, I just really feel like we've lost any sense of community where people like pull together and take care of each other and know each other and whatever. And I said, like, I know it's make-believe, but like, I want to live in Mayberry. I want to have that small town feeling. Like, I really want Andy Griffith to be my neighbor. Like, if you remember in the Dick Van Dyke Show, Millie would come over and just have like coffee with Laura in the morning. Like, I just want someone who just like, yeah, I'm cleaning my kitchen, or yeah, I'm baking cookies, but yeah, come over, hang out, have a cup of tea, like a friend. I need a friend. And just to have that sense of community, like, oh, you know, little old lady McGillicuddy, like, is sick, and so people come and like bring her food and make sure she's okay, and like, you know who the old lady is in the neighborhood, so like you shovel their walk for them when it snows. Like, you know, people take care of each other. We just don't have that. And like, my problem kind of is like, I don't really like people that much, so it's like, I want that sense of community. I want that, like, Barney Fife is coming over to like play games and have homemade pizza. Like, I like that image and I want that, but at the same time, like, I don't really like people. I don't really have that many friends. A lot of my friends don't live close to me, so they can't just like come over. And I really don't like people coming in my house because it's embarrassing that it's so messy all the time. And I know it smells like cat pee. Like, I don't smell it. I'm nose blind to it, and I'm always cleaning those litter boxes. But come on, with the number of cats we have, it has to stink in here. And that embarrasses me, like, to have someone come in. I just want to be like, oh my God, how bad does it smell? How bad does it smell? Because when you live with it, you don't necessarily smell it. Anytime, you know, you go into another person's home and it always has like a different smell, even if it's just like totally clean. And to come in here, oh God. So I don't have people over. And anyway, that's why we're chatting for so long. Like, you're my friends, you're all I have. So anyway, we'll see you next time with a dumpster diving video, and I'm glad we could chat. I could get all this off my chest, and take care. I'll see you again soon.